What's up, everybody? Shawn here with another Live to Roll. Got a guest in studio. Got an awesome guest here to talk to as well, Chad from Chairlife. So we'll get into some intros, get into talking some adaptive tools, helpful aids, and just kind of some quad talk. We got 5 quads here with you today, so should be a pretty fun show. And yeah, so I'm Shawn. I'm a C5, C6 quadriplegic from a snowboarding accident. Joe, you want to go real quick, and then we'll let our. Actually,
Yeah,
no. You go. You're gonna go after.
it's all good.
Joey's gonna have to wait. We got the guest coming on after. So, Tom, go ahead.
What's up, everybody? Tom Conaway, C6B quadriplegic for the last 26 years, going on 27. Coming at you from sunny Southern California. Bobby?
Yeah, thanks, Tom. C5. Bobby Rohan, C5, C6, quadriplegic, got 35 years. Really, it feels like I'm going on 55 years, not 35, but that's just how days go sometimes. Living here in Huntington Beach, California, can't beat it. Now do I pass it to Joey?
Yeah,
Can
Joey.
Joey have a turn?
We'll let Chad have the final. He is the guest.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Joey, friend of Shawn's from rugby, and Bobby, and Tom, and a C6 quad for about 21 years.
Yeah. Me and Joey were injured around the same time. Started playing rugby, I think, about the same time too. So, all right, Chad. Let's get you. You're the man of the hour. So let's go ahead and let you go ahead and do your intro. You can give a little bit more too if you want, your story, whatever you want to share. Go for it.
Chad Dismute, C5-6 complete quad. Broke my neck about 29 years ago or so, 96. Diving in a lake out here in Texas. From San Antonio, Texas. And yeah. Um, yeah, married with 2 kids, and yeah, just happy to be alive every
Living the
morning.
dream. Yeah, living the
I got
dream.
a century's worth of quadriplegic experience on today's show. That's kind of cool.
We got well over
What's
that.
up, Meryl? What's up, Ben? What's up, Jay? Thanks, everybody, for joining us in the chat. And hey, tell us your favorite adaptive tool that you like to use. We're going to talk about tools today. So, Chad, you want to dive on in? Tell us a little bit about Chairlife. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, Chairlife started probably a little over 10 years ago. A buddy of mine, Todd Hardgroder, who used to run ADI Accessible Designs, he approached me one day and said, "Hey, let's start a website where we can start selling some of our ADI, some of the ADI equipment directly to our customers." And so that's where it all began. And eventually started working for him at ADI, and worked for him for, I don't know, over 5 years or so before he sold the company. And yeah, that's pretty much where it all started. And we've slowly been we both have, Todd's got his thing going on, and Chairlife's kind of been a little side thing that we've just really kind of put out there for whoever discovers it in many ways. And that's where it initially started. We then Todd mainly came up with the Hook It. One day, him and I were in the back after work and cutting up, drinking some beers, and I used to have this long dowel that I used, and I would stick it in my glove, and I would scoop stuff up, pick it up, and then we were back there, and we were having one of those drop days like we have at times where things don't seem to go our way, and we drop tons of shit that day. And next morning, I came into work, and Todd had bent up this long piece of aluminum that he had, and it wasn't the full Hook It just yet, but him and I got together, and he was like, "Hey, what about something like this?" And so we worked on the bend a little bit more, so it would go around our arms or hands here, our gimp hands. Let me get it here. And there we go. You know, to be able to reach down and hook different things. And that's basically what it is, just a hook.
I want to use
Got
it to
a,
roast a marshmallow.
You want to what?
excuse me?
I said I want to use it to roast a marshmallow. Looks like a
Yeah,
great marshmallow skewer.
that's why I got the end pokey. Hell, you can poke things out of your freezer or what have you, those box, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a 13 inch, I believe it is, or 15 inch, and then a 19 inch hook it. And it's just a basic hook, is what it is. We what we did is we had them had pieces of aluminum bent into this certain configuration, and then had them powder coated, um, and they come pretty raw. And then what I do is I've got a 15-year-old son. He's 16 now, and he puts the plastic on the end here, this little tubing, just to protect our hands a little bit more, and he bangs out the ends. These little and So the ends are a little bit different. I just ordered a hydraulic press because I think we need a little more uniformity with the ends, even though they are pretty uniform. But you know, I just thought it'd be a little bit better as far as being a little bit more uniform and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a simple, basic hook. You know.
You
That,
did send me a couple of and I've been using the shorter, the 15-inch one. We bought like those like I'm not sure what they're called, like the bale style jars that have like the top where it has like the rubber grommet, and then it's like a metal clasp that goes over a top one, and you can latch it down.
Like a mason jar.
Like the mason jar, but not like the twist style. The ones that like
Yeah.
the ones that have the clamp. And this thing actually works super perfect. I brought it in with me to studio too. But like the little hook, I can scoop right under that, like the buckle part, like the metal clasp part on it, and we just store the jar on the floor. I can swoop it up, grab it, pull it up to my lap, boom, like get the treat out, and then I can hook it and send it back down like to the little. It's like a little bottom shelf thing we have, but it's just the perfect spot for them. And like so, that's the first thing that I'm finding it, and I'm using it every day for it. But I'm trying to find a bunch of cool uses. It's really
yeah, I mean, it works for hell. I move my hose around the backyard, and I've hooked things out of the refrigerator. Push button. It's just it's just one of those extended tools. I've seen the one that you've got, Bobby,
I
and
use
that's
a
great.
little grabber with a little hook on it too. It's
Yeah,
like
see, you got. How do you use
it's a
these?
little magnetic hook, but I use the hook more than I use the grabber because, like, I don't know, often that's all I need. Like, especially like I'm picking up my phone most of the time, and I usually just have to like hook onto the lanyard, which is like relatively easy, versus like trying to like squeeze and like pick it up using the
How,
dexterity. But yeah,
uh,
no, the hooks are awesome,
Hey
and
Tom,
yours
on a
looks
show.
even better than this one. I
Not very
just
many
have to
people
use
have
that.
not very many quads have the skills to use the grabber. Do you want to show real quick? I have a video if you guys want to check it on the channel of Tom picking stuff up with that
hold on,
grabber.
I think my connection's
This
getting funny.
grabber isn't working right now. It's broken, and my
Um,
good one's on the floor, and I didn't pick it up before the show. But I can just kind of like mock do it if you want. I use my elbow to pinch. I hold it in kind of a different way. Instead of like, sometimes I'll do it like this, where like I'll lean down, position my hands, but it's hard to like lift like using just my wrists, especially if it's kind of heavier. But if I can get it in my elbow like this, I have really, really, really strong grip with my bicep, and I can get a lot of strength to like pick up whatever it is. So that's kind of my quad move for using the grabber. And I have a ton of them around the house because I end up dropping the grabbers as much as I drop the stuff that I'm using it to pick it up with. Um,
Yeah, I get
but
it. I got a lot of those hookets around the house too. Al. I'm
yeah,
always dropping them. Need a hook it for the
yeah,
hook it.
exactly. Like I use the grabber to get my grabber, and that's just kind of the nature of it. But I did want to mention like the hook on the grabber is a particularly like useful function, and your hook it seems to be. I love the fact that you don't like this handle is hard to use. Like being able to like lock your wrist into it and not have to like rely on the grab at all, like the wrist grab, it is really awesome and really functional.
Yeah, it is really cool.
I've
I've been,
seen the one you got, Bobby. I've thought about ordering that one, but it's a little expensive. And then I thought, well, there's just a little bit more to it. And that was before the Hook It came around. That one you've got's been around a little while. But they wanted measurements and this and that. So,
Are you talking about the one from Quad Tools?
yes.
So that one is really a spatula. So, I mean, it's not really a hook or, and I probably went, and you're right, there's a lot to it. More, it's best for like when I'm cooking, like tonight, I'll be smoking up a pork tenderloin. So when I need to roll it, that one's, great and all, but, it's big, it's bulky. Let me get closer. And it doesn't really have, like, if I really wanted to get my keys off the ground and I'm just having a bad day, I could grab this, but it's just a lot to get into. But when I need to get ready to flip a pork butt or pork tenderloin or maybe even corn on the cob, uh, kind of that same concept. Get your wrist in there and then squeeze, and then that will, capture it just by your tenodesis.
Nice.
yeah, those are cool, but definitely a little bit expensive.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
And luckily, I didn't have to buy mine. My good friend Paul got a little money from his work, and he got to order a few of them. And he's like, "You want one?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, order me one." So
That's awesome.
It is the tool that I've seen most utilized by quads. I knew a quad in Northern California when I was going to school up there that had one of those and used it. And I've met several people down here. And the tenodesis like functionality, I think is super super cool and honestly like very appealing. I think to a lot of people. So shout out to those guys too because they are expensive, but I also think it's like quads developing and designing and doing the whole thing too. So I think that's really awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I use this Hook It also to tuck my shirt down. You know how we're always wiggling? We're wiggling dudes. So sometimes I use it right here just to pull my shirt down because everybody's no one wants to pull your shirt down for you. So that kind of deal. And I've said it before, we got to save our asks. We are needy as hell at times. So it's like being able to pick it up ourselves and not have to ask. Shit, man, you only get so many asks, or at least I do. Around my group or whoever the hell I'm with, you only get so many asks a day. So otherwise, you start getting a frown and ignored. But yeah, so that's what I say: save your ask. Get a hook.
Yeah, well, no, I think that's important to say. Like, I don't always often have someone around to even ask, but even when I am home and I'm around people, like, I don't know, I always feel sometimes I'm being like too needy or like too burdensome. Like every 5 minutes, like I'm asking for something. Whereas usually I just like if I drop it, I'm like, okay, Tom, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna figure this out? So I feel what you're saying there, Chad. But Angry Quad said, do you guys use telescoping magnets at all?
So I was just grabbing that. That's funny. Angry Quad just asked that. And what I was going to say about asking people, usually around noon is when the wife starts rolling her eyes. She's like, okay. That's when I know I've outdone myself for ask. But it's, telescoping. And the old days, they had, this used to be a lot like, the grip used to be a lot bigger with a strap. And I got it at the expo probably like 25 years ago. This one I found on Amazon. It's got a sticky thing to it. So here you go, Chad. Start, getting your board out and notebook out and start thinking about, a sticky part. And then I think it also has a magnetic portion to it, or the old one did, but this one has a little hook. And I kind of forgot about it. It was in this little box of mine for about 5 years. I just saw it the other day. And so, like right now, I have my something on the ground for my glasses, and the hook is not big at all. So to get something off the ground with this little one, it's not as practical as the old one. I cannot find the old one anymore. So, Chad, come up with something like that.
Sticky.
This
I
grabber too, the little hook on there is a neodymium magnet. Like you can kind of see the magnet there, and the magnet's strong enough to pick up little batteries. Like if I drop a fork, it'll stick a fork to it, or even my keys. So sometimes like I can just touch it too, and it's not a telescoping thing, but it does have like the magnet in addition to the hook. So it's just like another attractive force to get what you're getting.
So as far as the
I'll use
magnet,
magnets.
what I do is on my keychain, where I've got the keys, we've got a magnet on there. And so I'll take the hook it and I'll drop the keys down and I'll hook it. You know what I mean? I'll hook the keys and then use the keys to pick up with the magnet. As far as the sticky goes, you know what I've done before? I've gotten a small lint brush. You know, they make a small one. They make a little one. There's some big ones, little one. One time my dog got a hold of my wallet and he went outside and he just spread it everywhere, the cards and yada yada yada. So I was inside and we had one of those small lint brushes and I stuck it on here somehow and peeled it, and I went outside and just was able to pick everything up with the sticky part. So yeah, I think we can do something like that, but hell, Todd's always uses the motto, keep it simple if we can.
Yeah,
and
that works. Yeah, definitely keeping it simple. When you got so many things, then something's not going to work after a few times.
So hell, can't pick it up, then geez, I'll have to wait.
What's the process of coming up with something like that? And I saw a comment earlier. It's like from Angry Quad, and I had the same thought. Like necessity is the mother of invention. Like, was that just it? You were just looking for a solution, and you had an idea, and you were like, "Let's freaking do this thing." Or what's that process like?
Well, you guys know, I mean, hell, we're great problem solvers. I mean, shit,
Yeah,
Tom, you've been for a damn long time, and all you guys, we figure it out because of the same deal. We can't get it, or we need to figure it out, and eventually we problem solve a way to do it, or have someone design it for us, or bend it for us, or something to try to figure it out. I think that's really necessity, is what it is, Tom. Like I say, we're great problem solvers, and yeah, we also raise great problem solving kids if you ever have them. And it's just it's what we do. We think, and we think aloud and drive people crazy and wanting to do it just the way we want to do it. But hell, it's what it is,
Yeah.
So I think that's it, necessity.
How about the other invention, your lap tray? I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, that came a little bit later. That again was a hard grower idea. He was needing something to stick the remotes to and stuff at night to have in the bed, and he initially came out with a square one that we had that he passed on my way, and since then it's the square one's gone away, just because it wasn't real practical with the other ones. This was one of the original ones with Velcro on it, and then just kind of went to the ones that we have. Right now, I use this one here. This one, I think I call it the companion. And the companion, let's see what the dimensions are on it. I think it's 5x9. But I've got it inside. I forgot it. I put Velcro on this one, and I put my remotes on it at night and have it in bed so that I can just, how we are at night, how we fish, throw our hands out and fishing for something. Just able to get it with that little hook and the little handle on it, with different stuff on it. And then since I also take it, I carry this one around a lot. And what I do on this one, you guys, is, and I do it with all of them, but I get one of these little clips, like these These little, these clips like this,
Yeah,
like a
like a
regular
paper clip.
nail or clip, whatever you want to call it, and clip different stuff on it, and then stick it on my side here. Say I'm going to the bank. Say I'm going to the wherever you go. I don't want to be the show. I'm all right with someone looking at me, but I don't want to turn into the damn show. So I just find it a little bit easier to have this on me, be able to pull it out, and then put it up on the counter, and have them manage it. Clip everything back on it, and then there you go, kind of deal. That's. And as far as these
How do
other
you
ones go,
guys?
go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, how do you guys do that at the bank? Like when you're at the teller and there's like the screen of glass and there's that tiny little slot where you have to get stuff to. How do you do it? The way I do it is I usually just toss my cards, like my ID and my debit card, in there, and I got a
Yeah.
pretty good toss. I swear, I'm jinxing myself, but I haven't missed in like 3 years, and I go to the bank pretty regularly. But how do you guys do it? I'm curious.
No, same. Yeah, I just put it in the like the little slot. They had to have them walk around. Like if I needed to sign something or something, they couldn't quite like get through or whatever. But yeah, that is one of the harder. The bank's a pain in the ass.
I
Bobby.
have them reach up there and push it out, and then I just double kangaroo hand it, try to slide it off enough to be able to get under it and get it off. Otherwise, I drop it, and then hell, hope there's some hot-looking lady behind me that'll bend down and get it for me. Kind of deal. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. Fuck it, I can't do it.
Yeah,
So I try, and if I drop it, I drop it. I'm not worried over it. It's what it
yeah.
is. Or even,
Are you guys?
say what?
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Talk about the trays.
Yeah, this
I didn't
smaller
mean
one here sometimes can go in that little area, but it's a pain to get out. They can't push it out the inside. Um, but this smaller one, what I use is I use it for like my iPad. I've let me show you. I've taken it and I've double-sided it to the iPad, so then I can just grab the iPad, um, and it stays on there. It's a fix. It's a it's a fixture on it, all the time. So then I
Yeah.
can same deal up in the bed. I can grab it a little bit easier and be able to utilize it. But then two,
I
this one I
really
like to
like the
carry
wide
around.
handle. I think the
Yeah,
wide
this one's
handle
good
is
to
awesome.
carry around all
Yeah,
the time.
dude.
I like to go out with my buddies and hell have beers or whatever, and I just tuck this one away, and it's great to be able to just have a surface to boom. There you go. Put your beer there, whatever. Uh, or Coke or whatever you got, whatever you do. But yeah, I mean, it's ideal for that kind of thing. And then we've got the big one here too. Or then there's this one here. The reason we designed this one here is that this one's a little wider, so it's got the double handle. Um,
Yeah.
and some of our buddies, when they're sitting in the manual, uh, our legs are a little bit farther apart, so it just balances better, kind of deal. But it does have the dual handle, so if you have it in a precarious place or what have you, but yeah, it's just wider to be able to sit a little wider if you have a wider base, kind of deal. Um, I don't know.
Is
And
that
then
one
there's
on your phone?
no, that's another thing I want to show you guys here in a bit. I'm going to show you this. We're going to bring this out. It's not on the website yet, but I'm going to bring it out. We just still got a couple of little technical things we're trying to work out with. I'll show you in a minute. But this is it's the worker tray, and this thing's great for whatever. You're working, you got your laptop, whatever. You guys get it. Whatever you need on your lap, and it gives you space to be able to do whatever you want to do. Double-sided anti-slip. I put the logo on one side. I cut it out of the logo on one side, the grip tape, but the other side I didn't because, hell, not everybody probably wants to look at the logo. So that kind of thing. But here, check this out. So I've got this phone holder that Todd came up with. He came up with this a while back, and I initially didn't like it, but he's always had it and always liked it. and here it is right here. And basically, it's cut out like that, so it'll. What you do is you can Velcro or just double side your phone onto it, and I've got it right here, the phone double sided. Um, and so what's cool about it, I blew out my thumb, so my thumb's not as good as you guys probably. Um, Try not to use your thumb as much if you're a new quad. Otherwise, it starts to look like this. It's just dropped, and so my tendonitis has gone to hell on this hand. Um, but
Same
what's
thing.
cool about this holder here is, you can hook this here, and again, your fingers will probably a little bit better, but and then be able to hold it and take pictures, and just allows it a little bit more accessibility. Todd's a selfie fool, so he loves to take selfies. So that's the main thing, hold it up, take selfies. But what I like about it is this right here. Let me see if you guys can see. It's just being able to tuck it away. So boom, there it is. My phone's out of the way. You know what I mean? Phone, then I just pull it up and have it. So we haven't put this on the website yet, just because Todd's kind of trying to figure out the best way to go about the handle. We initially had it square at the top instead of round. I don't know if you can see that, but or he had it square instead of round. But then we've been prototyping the round one. And what he's done is he's wrapped it with like some tennis tape right in here on this handle part, and that way he can. It seems to hold better for him as far as his positioning. The selfie taking fool. But anyways, so hopefully we'll get this on the website here in the next couple of weeks. Mark with Abilities came out with one. I've seen it in use. It seems a little bit bulky to me, but shit, man. I mean, I think it serves a good purpose of what, taking pictures and what have you. But yeah.
I got maybe an idea. Instead of being so big, actually going smaller. So think of it as it only goes from the top of the camera down to almost the bottom. So really, all you have to do is hold it on both sides with your thumb. And I'm like you, Chad. My thumbs are done, and so if you had it on both sides, it's kind of easier, small, just to hold it there, and then you can tuck your phone in there, and at least you got a little bit of a hook. Where that one is so tall, I just don't think you need as much, unless you're putting your all four fingers kind of grip in there. But for someone like you and I, with just wanting to use your thumbs, a little bit smaller, but just going across the back of the phone might
a little wider at the top. You mean?
What's that?
Go a little wider at the top?
No, really just using the middle of the phone. So it's about only 3 inches, but you got a hook on each side. So you can have a hook on each side. Kind of like that same concept you use for the lap tray that's a little bit wider, where it's got hooks on both sides. Now you just scrunch it down and size it down way smaller.
You got the holes like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So that one's still on the drawing board. Hopefully,
I like the different sizes. I love that there's a lot of different options. Like, my biggest thing with lap trays is I've always hated like big bulky trays on my lap. One, because they just kind of look out of place. Like, they're kind of unwieldy and not easy for me to kind of get on and off. So even your biggest one seems like very versatile and easy to like get on and off. I use a cutting board, like when I'm like doing food prep and stuff. Like, I'll just set on my lap, and it's just like a 13 or 15-inch long cutting board, kind of like that, and I'll just place it on my lap. But I could see a ton of instances, especially for like the shorter, longer one, for like being out at a bar or something. Like, I've had a lot of instances where I do balance like glasses full of liquids on my lap, on my leg and stuff, and it's very wobbly and unstable. and I end up spilling on myself half the time. So I think that's super cool and very functional.
Yeah,
There's
they weigh it's
tray that have like
yeah, it's the work.
like a couple
And
of them.
it's clean. It's clean and kind of seems to be yeah, it's just kind of clean and has a purpose kind of deal. Versus, well, I think a lot of us, Tom, we all started out with that cutting board. Hell, I've got
Yeah.
one inside that I still throw on my lap sometimes, and I've got a clipboard too. The clipboard's got one of those where you push and you can put the paper in it. You know, it's got that metal piece. Shit, that metal piece has got a little round hole on it, and I love that little hole because I can get my pinky in there, pull it, and set it. You know, I use that to slide things in and out of the microwave. And hell, I've had that for 28, 29 years. I stole it from the rehab I was in, I think. But yeah, so you know, we're creatures of habit. You know, we start a habit and we just start, and that's what I think a lot of these tools that we come up with, our own our own invention, and it works best for us. And we are creatures of habit. So hell, it's hard to go to something else when shit, it's working. What we got working for us works. You know. So.
Yeah. What were you saying, Joey? I think you're asking a
Oh, I
question.
was asking the lap tray. I thought there was one that had like a hole in the middle. You could put a cup or like a mug in it. Was there one of those?
No, we've thought about that, but
Okay.
that one hasn't come around just yet, Joey.
Gotcha.
I'd love to have a beer holder there, you know, so that it doesn't slosh around right here in between, you know. But yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah, it seems like they work really well though, just like balancing a drink on there. This is actually I was going to show earlier. I have that one, it's like I think the 5x9 one. I've been keeping this just in my backpack, so I have it all the time for any like out any portable quick. It's just easy to grab right out of the bag and have. I haven't found too many uses for it, but I'm trying like for setting drinks and things on. It does work in eating on. Um, my one thing is I want to use it to sign on, but it's hard with the grip tape. Like,
So we went back and forth on grip tape on both sides because one side is smooth and the other side is rough as far as the ABS goes. It's 1/8 inch ABS, um, and so we were gonna just put the grip tape on one side, and then but we decided that, and so the one side wasn't gonna have grip tape, uh, and then the side that's up or whatever would have the grip tape, but then it slides around on your lap. Um, it's not as steady, so that's the reason we decided to go with grip tape. I got a funny story. So me and my buddy Jeff, we went to the minor league baseball team out here one day during the week, and I had the lap trays, but I didn't have the grip tape on them. I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna take them out there and I'm gonna take one." And so Jeff and I are out there, and we order beers, and we're in the front, like right behind home plate. And we got beer, you know, Jeff's got a beer, I got a beer, and shit, you know how we are, we wiggle, I can't stay still. And the beer slides off, and it just splashes, and, you know, we were the show, and I was like, shit, Jeff, I said, we shouldn't have brought these damn lap trays, you got to get the grip tape on them first, but anyways, we ended up moving and going to a different spot because I was like, shit, Jeff, now we've turned into the show, we need to go find a different spot, but anyways. Yeah, so grip tape. Yeah, that's what we've done. Both.
for
That's
drinks,
fun.
I could definitely see it. It keeps it stable and keeps anything from sliding. You have a plate, a drink, anything like that. So it is just maybe carry like a little.
When I drink beer, I stick to bottles or keep it simple. Just a nice little cocktail. Drink half of it before you roll away from the bar, and you're good to go.
Shot glass, Tom. Shot glass.
That's it, baby. Sorry, Shawn, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, that was good. That was it.
Hey, Chad, do you want to, on your site, you have a bunch of your ADI products. You want to talk a little bit about, I know you brought it up with, you were working with ADI and a little bit about what their products are and, you know, especially the gloves. And we're always looking for gloves. I have a pair of ADI gloves and I love them for pushing. I do a lot of wheelchair pushing around the neighborhood and at the beach for miles. And they're just simple, easy to put on. So, you know, if you want to talk a little bit about the ADI products a little bit more, that would be great.
What's ADI?
So Accessible Designs Incorporated, that's Todd Hardroder's business. He started that back long time ago. Hell, I don't know the exact date, but long time ago. And he first came out with the sliding board, with the ADI sliding board. And this is the ADI sliding board. That's the original sliding board. Let me grab the thing if I can. I got my power base. And so we got the ADI transfer board, and this was Todd's deal starting out early on. This is where ADI began with the sliding board, and it's made out of some type of pine. Forget the exact material, but yeah, and they think they come in 29-inch, 24-inch, and 20-inch, I believe, or 21-inch, 21, 24, and 29. Ideal for the transfer, in my opinion. For me personally, it just kind of gets in my way. But you know, a lot of people that I know use them. It's again the original. So ADI started out with the sliding board, and then following that, he went to to these ADI carbon fiber backrests. That's what we have on here, with a different type of hardware and so on. I think on this, yeah. So there's a carbon fiber backrest, and there's also an aluminum backrest with just different type of hardware. There's adjustable hardware, there's fixed hardware. So basically, Todd ran the company for a long time, and then I came on and I ran his customer service department, and basically turned into the specialist for the disc brakes and the backrest and so on. And then after many years, he ended up selling the company to Stealth Products, and Stealth Products sold the ADI line, and they still do sell the ADI line. And I went and worked for Stealth Products and was their ADI specialist, basically. And so what they did is they took the ADI back and they evolved it a little bit for power wheelchairs. They have a Q-back and some other different things like that. But I don't sell any of that. I sell the one that's for the manual chair. So there's the carbon fiber backrest, and then there's an aluminum backrest. And then we sell the ADI push gloves. And these gloves, sometimes my buddies question me, why do you wear your gloves all the time? Because I spend half my time in this manual and then the other half in this power base. But I wear my gloves all the time. But hell, I like my gloves because they're just an aid for me. Like, if I'm typing, you know, I've got it there. I don't have to put on some kind of strap or whatever. If I'm grilling, I can stick my spatula in and, you know, just flip the meat, or else a big fork and flip the meat kind of thing. You know, so I just wear mine all the time.
It looks like it helps keeps your wrist in like a neutral position too. Like that's my biggest problem.
What I did is I added on one side, I added a piece of leather. I used to have them on both sides, but my right wrist is a little stronger. Both wrists are strong, but I have it on the left side, and it just stabilizes the wrist a little bit, and it allows. You know how we pull? You know how we pull? So we reach down and we can, if we're in the manual, we pull up different. You know, you pull, which is terrible for our shoulders in the long run. But that's another reason I put I made the leather piece to go underneath. But yeah, so there's that and the transfer boards, and we used to do the ADI brakes, but Stealth Products went ahead and discontinued those for the time being. I wish they would bring them back, but they're pretty complicated. They're great once you get them on your chair and got them working, but they are a pretty big overhaul on a manual chair. Yeah, that's the main ones we do. I also sell a couple of straps. There's chest straps and stuff that Stealth sells that just, you know, for our wheelchair, like on the bottom, where, you know, to hold our feet and that kind of thing. You know, there's also the straps, the chest straps and so on. But, yeah, that's pretty
As
much the.
the resident power chair user here, I gotta ask, how long have you been doing the 50-50 manual chair power chair? Is it like something that happened later on as you kind of got further into your injury, or is it something you've
Well,
always done?
I had a bad shoulder, Tom, from pulling, just like I showed you how I pull, and
Yeah,
I never wanted to go a power chair because power chairs are big. They don't allow you to go underneath tables. You don't have the same footprint. I just couldn't see my identity in a power chair. I mean, hell, I like to, I don't know, I like to feel independent and quote
yeah,
cool, if you will, and then feel comfortable in my manual chair and just push it. And so I never wanted to go power. And then Todd designed this. He's been working on this power base for a long time, and he gave me the prototype. This is the original prototype. He had one prototype, and he gave me this prototype. And so watch out. So I had left it in my corner of my room, Tom, for the longest time because I just couldn't identify with going power. Um, and then one day I got in it and I was able to keep the same blueprint, if you will, the term we overuse, but the same height and everything as my manual. And basically that's what it is. It's a manual chair. I've got a Rogue on here right now. But it's the manual chair. It's the manual chair on the power base. And so that allows you to sit in the same position that we had that we have in our manual, and not be so
yeah.
up high as we are, and so on. So anyways, that's what I decided to go with the to get in that power base, and it's great. I can go and walk my dog in the evening. If I couldn't go walk my dog, I'd go crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when I decided to go power, and because I'm still able to be in my manual in so many ways, but be in power. And I tried out that what's that wheel that you put in the back? What was that wheel that we had in the back?
Smart drive.
Yeah, smart drive.
Margin.
Yeah, as you guys know, that thing will kill a guy like us. So that didn't work. And then and there used to be a wheelchair that I was in. It was Tailwind. Tailwind made it. It was a Johnson & Johnson technology. And then Crow River bought it, and it was an all-in-one manual chair that had, basically it had e-motion technology on both sides, but it coordinated with each other right up underneath had like a computer or something up underneath the seat base. And it worked great. The thing was over the top great. It was great. But then there was battery issues with it, and then it evolved to what it was, and eventually Crow River had it, and then they, I think, got sued, or I don't know what happened, but it went out of business, and that thing went away.
Yeah. Those who had that chair loved it, and just too bad they couldn't stick around.
Yeah, it was great for guys like us. It was perfect. It was made for us.
Yeah.
I will say that the power chairs, especially nowadays, are made very functional and made in mind with getting into doorways and getting underneath tables. Like, I'm able to sit at most tables, especially like dining out and stuff like that. It's generally no issue, and I think that's great. And I think everyone should always like find whatever works best for them. Like, I got jealous of these guys for about 5 minutes when I saw them looking slick in their manual chairs, until they were like begging to hang on to my chair because they're so tired and almost flipping on small curves and stuff like that. Because like my identity was really discovered in my power chair. It's given me
Sure.
stability to sit comfortably without a chest strap. Like I have so much ability and freedom to move and reach and lean in any direction I want, to prepare food, to eat, and do it all. And it kind of gave me like the independence and the freedom I would not otherwise be able to like live independently like without. So I think that's great. You have a hybrid thing. I love that you're kind of open to the idea of like the freedom that it does offer, because some people do get caught up in that mentality of like, oh, like I don't want to switch to a big bulky power chair, but
Yeah.
I think it can be really awesome in some respect too, in the independence that it can offer, especially in combination with a manual chair. Like I had a manual for years and years and years and years that I would use to go out in places where the power chair just wasn't convenient. So I love the
Yeah, when
hybrid
I
take.
when I look at you, Tom, though, I see you. I don't see your, I don't see this big power chair,
Totally,
which
totally. Yeah,
yeah. And the thing about this too is you can take them. The idea is you can take your manual chair off of it and put, take and put wheels back on it, and
yeah.
just have it. And if you want to pop it back on the base, kind of like that ZX1. Was it? What is that? The ZX1 or what is that
Yeah,
one?
I have one in the back of my, right in the back into the corner here. I've never used it. I set it up, and the one thing about it is for guys like us, it's going to lift you up just a little bit, and
Yes.
we're already bucketed for a reason, and you're about to lift us up, and so there goes your balance. So that was the first issue I had. So then I'm driving like this, hooking my hand, and it's just like, this thing is not made for me. And where I can still see the bucket on that chair. It reminds me of the old P200 days. They made this power hybrid chair. The guys who play power soccer, they want that base. That's all they care about, because that base was fast. It was the fastest one out there. You can get up to 20 miles an hour. It would spin on a dime, but the thing was, it would just this frame would, but it was a quickie frame, kind of bulky, heavy, and then you can slap wheels on it. But you had to have that frame. You couldn't put your frame on it, and that's what's so nice about that, is that you can set up your frame to that power unit.
It works. I like it, and also it's got like a manual tilt on it where, uh, skin's a big deal for us. Hold on, let me get rid of this slide. Uh, so it allows you to go. You can do a manual tilt in it, and actually tilt back, and it'll go farther.
Oh wow,
That's actually
that's
really cool.
crazy.
That's cool.
I've never
It'll go
seen
farther.
that.
That way you can get off your butt. You know how we are with our butt and sitting all damn day. I don't know about you guys, but I ride long days, and so yeah. So
Yeah.
it's pretty good. I would have this. This is an old chair. I've been riding in this TRC for 25 years, and it's just like an old pair of leather shoes. You know how it is, and I just like it. It's comfortable. And it's a different design. It has an undercarriage, which won't go on this base, just with the older design. But now the newer design, even with the undercarriage, will go on this power base. But yeah, it's good. I dig it. I wouldn't know what to do if I couldn't go walk my dog. I mean, hell, I love to get out and go just out. Put my headphones on and escape reality, if you will, for a while, and just go. Walking the dog, and this damn thing will go. It goes 5 miles an hour. Hell, Tom, I don't want to go 10 miles an hour. I'll flip out and hurt my face.
It's a risk, but man, does it feel good to go fast. Joey, we haven't heard from you too much. You have any more questions? Anything? Anything you wanted us to touch on and talk about as we kind of approach the end?
No, I mean, I was saying earlier, like, I was already learning so much. Even when you said, like, oh, I dropped my phone, I'm like, how are you going to use the hook it to get your phone? It's so smooth. Like, I hooked the lanyard. Like, oh, that's so obvious, but, like, you wouldn't always do it. So the show is, like, perfect for things that we didn't always know, but you hear someone say, like, oh, that makes so much sense. Now I can do that. I think Chad was
Yeah.
talking about like, how do you know like, because quads are all different, right? So how do you know what's gonna work for you? When do you decide it's like, oh, this is gonna be something that people will buy? Everyone's gonna want this. You know what I mean? Do you ask a lot of other quads, or just you and Tom, or whoever?
Yeah, I think pass it around to our friends. Myself and Todd, we hang out with. We got about 3 other guys: Jeff, Brad, and Shawn, and we're all 50 plus years old. I'm the youngest one, and the rest of them are a couple years older, and we just pass it around and see what works for who it works for. And we're getting older too, so this aging is a whole nother kind of deal too. But that's a whole nother that's a Bobby show. But yeah,
It's also, I love your designs because it's the #1 rule in engineering. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And that's really like, because it is very universal, like it is easy, like it's simple enough and easy enough that almost anybody, because Joey said it, like we all do things differently. We all have kind of different, slightly different function. Every spinal cord injury is a little bit different, but the simpler a design is, the more applicable it is to lots of different people. And I really love that about, especially the hook it and the trays. They are generally just very simple, but kind of intuitive enough to make it work for a quad. So that's really awesome.
I was gonna mention too, you can mod. I feel like if you got the hook it and you wanted a magnet on it, you could probably go ahead and super glue a little magnet on the back of the heel of it or whatever, like, or a sticky pad, something. You could definitely do a slight modification that works better for you personally if like you need a little bit something different. I think it's cool.
yeah, the nuts and bolts are here with this, and then just to add on, there was a guy, Todd, my friend Todd. He's also a adjunct professor for the University of Pittsburgh, and recently they did. There was let's see, it was a resna is what they called it, and they designed, and he sent them to hook it, and let me say what resna stands for. Um,
Yeah, I know it's oh shoot, it's been too long now.
yeah, here it is. Let's see here. I had it.
Oh, what is it?
They took this hook it. He sent them, and what they made, you guys, with it is they made a thing, and they call it the Sweep It. It's Rehabilitation Engineering and Assistive Technology Society of North America, and they took the hook it and they designed this thing for it, and it's called. They got second place in the contest, and it's called the Sweep It. And basically, it's like, you remember we talked, Tom, or you guys mentioned, I talked to you guys a while back, just as far as the chat goes, and we talked about a bag, and you said, hell, a Apple bag works great. Well, that Starbucks bag works great. To be able to take that Starbucks bag and drop it on the floor, and to push things in it, I thought about sending the hook it out with the Starbucks bag. I went to Starbucks bag one day. I got a whole bunch of them over there, and got bags because I was going to send them out with it. But this thing is similar to that in a way. It has basically like a dust pan, if you will, that's a little bit smaller in scale. And then on the back side, what goes on the hook it is a type of push it kind of flat spade, if you can. And then that will push in coins or a card and that kind of thing, which it looks great. But then again, hell, it's just something additional to have in my mind. Hell, I'll grab the Starbucks bag and just be done with it, kind of thing. But anyway,
yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, we're getting kind of to the end of the hour here now. So we're going to go ahead and thank our sponsors and do some upcoming shows. And then, Chad, if you want to kind of close out the show with, maybe some advice, tips, anything for anybody that's just in life, or maybe for adapting tools. If somebody, another quad out there has been thinking about trying to make his own tools, anything like that, or hurt their own tools. Sorry, I know women out there making tools too. So
Joey too. If you got any advice or tips or tricks or anything, we'd love to hear from you too before we close out. Hit me with the sponsors real quick. I'll do them real quick, Shawn.
Sounds good.
Shout out Mobility Professionals. If you need yourself a new wheelchair, a new standing frame, any similar durable medical equipment, toilet chairs, and the like, they are your one stop shop for all those solutions. You got to be in beautiful, sunny Southern California to get their services. But if you are, I highly encourage you to go check them out and give them a call. Their sister company, however, is national. So anywhere in the beautiful US of A, you can get yourself catheter supplies through an awesome company. Everyone's got to pee, and sometimes we need a little extra help. Urology professionals understands that, can work with you and your insurance company to get you the catheter supplies and any urological supplies you need to keep your bladder healthy. Go give them some love.
Yeah, thank you. We definitely appreciate our sponsors. They've been supporting us for a while now, and they definitely support the disability community. A lot of different things here locally. So awesome. Thank you guys. All right. And then for shows coming up, we got tomorrow coming up T Fizzle Gaming with Tom. So if you want to go do some gaming, if you're into gaming, you just want to watch, you just want to hang out, just talk and hang. You got some questions for Tom?
We have a lot of great conversation that's not about gaming. So if you want to come, just hang out. It's really open for everyone. But especially if you're into some gaming, come and hang out with us. Come and join us. We have a lot of fun together.
And this Thursday, make sure you have the Wheel Girl Talk. So Brianna, Nikki, Ashley, Maya, and Jessica coming on the show. I'm not sure what they're talking about, but I know Brianna and Maya were at the Rolettes Experience all last weekend, so they may be going over stuff with that. I feel like that's a really great event for women with disabilities. So check that out on Thursday as well. And then we'll just go through next. Whoops, clicking. There we go. Again, I can't seem to find anything here. But on Mondays, we also have gaming with Hell Wheels. If you want to tune in on Mondays, game with Sarab, hang out with him. Any talk questions you have as well, feel free to make sure to pop them in the chat. And then we're back every Tuesday as well. 3:30. We'll be back next week with another live show. So make sure to check us out every Tuesday, 3:30. And then to round out all our shows, we can't forget Bobby will be back for the fourth Thursday of the month. Bobby, Robert, and Luis will be back.
I'm not that old yet.
Hey, we did guest on that couple of minutes.
And Chad, I would love to have. I was looking at your Instagram today, and love to have you and your boys, if you're all over the age of 50, jump on one Thursday and get you guys all together. It looks like you guys have a great time.
Yeah, that would be awesome for sure. Let me know.
And then lastly, for the shows, we got Rolling with the Golden Oldies, newest show on the channel. So make sure to check the ladies out first Thursday of next month. I believe they're going to be talking about travel this month. So talking about trips and taking travel. Oops, there we go. All kinds of good stuff. So make sure to subscribe, like, click that little bell for notifications. Make sure you're getting those. All right, so now we got all that stuff done. Let's go for our final thoughts here. We can let Joey do a quick one, and then we can let Chad finish it out since he is the big one. Joe, you have anything else? Any advice, anything like that you'd like to share?
Yeah, honestly, I just say, I told Shawn this when he started the channel. 20 years ago, we didn't have YouTube. We had to scrounge the internet to find stuff. So I think the number one thing is sports, community, other people that have your level of disability, trying to kind of connect with it somehow. So the comment section here, Facebook, Instagram, following Live to Roll, that'd be my number one thing, is just to get connected and say hey, I never thought about that, but now I see it, and I'm glad to be here. Also get your Live to Roll merch. That's why I'm here to get my hoodie. Got a new hoodie today.
Boom.
Yeah,
Oh, you definitely need that right now. Oh, yeah, you're going to Alaska. That's why.
Oh, yeah, going on a trip. I said, Shawn, I need a hoodie. I want to be all cozy and comfy. So.
There you go. I forgot. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Quads are always cold. We always need a hoodie.
Yeah, and Joey's the only quad I know that's skinnier than me, I think. So.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Chad. So let's get anything. What do you want to leave us with here? Any final thoughts? Could be just general advice, or it could be anything with adaptive
Yeah.
tools, anything like that.
I would say to quads out there, good habits. Get into good habits and try to stick with them because we do age and we want to go as long as we can. Every day is a privilege that we wake up, um, you know, and with that, everything cycles. Take a breath, pause for a minute before we go and terrorize whoever the hell who's helping us in our pissed off moment. Take a breath and breathe and just be patient because everything does cycle. And no matter what the hell happens, the sun will come up in the morning and it will set at night, with or without us. So, just enjoy your days and get into some good habits and be friendly to each other. I mean, hell, communicate without blame, shame, or criticism. That's it's
Absolutely.
it's a practice, but yeah.
Love it.
I appreciate you guys having me. It's good to
We
be here.
appreciate you. Those are really beautiful words. Really awesome stuff to keep in mind. And we appreciate you. Thank you for not only what you do for the community, but just being here, hanging out with us, and being our friend. We appreciate you.
And Chad, your Instagram is the Chairlife.
Yes, Chairlife. I
Co.
think it's chairlife.co, I believe it is.
I have the Instagram in the description if you want to click below, and Joey's I added in there as well. He's Average Joey on the.
Yeah, that says him just right. He's just average.
Average Joe's Gymnasium, like from Dodgeball. That's great. That's fun.
That is.
Shawn and Joey, I give you guys a little run for your money as far as the skinniness goes.
Yeah, you are skinny quad too. You definitely.
All right.
Damn, I just got my chubby ass over here. I gotta lose some weight. Damn.
Tom, I love the bigote. I love the mustache.
Thank
It's
you. I
awesome.
appreciate it. I appreciate
Good
it.
stuff.
All right, you guys. Thank you everybody for watching.
Don't forget to hit that like button.
Chat. Make sure to click the like, subscribe, and make sure to follow Chairlife. Check out some of those products there on the website too. Lots of cool stuff. And I actually did list a lot of other adaptive tools as well, like abilities and stuff in the description. So just support small quad business or any small business. So we appreciate you guys.
Check out abilities. Mark's got some cool stuff. I mean,
Mark is the coolest.
Yeah, Mark at abilities. He's a good guy too. It's cool. I've seen him. Yeah, I've talked to him. It's cool.
So yeah, that's what we're all trying to be out here. We're all out here supporting each other, trying to help each other grow as a community. So thank you guys all for watching and tuning in. We'll see you next week. Click on tomorrow. Hang out with Tom. Live to roll, everybody.